What's going on, everyone? It's Sean from Barbell Built Body, and today we're going over training the biceps and curl variations. So the big thing about the biceps is that it's biarticulate muscle. It crosses the shoulder joint and the elbow. So what most of the variations do is just alter what's going on at the shoulder to basically you're either shortening the muscle or lengthening the muscle. So if the elbows are out in front, you have shoulder flexion. It's going to shorten the biceps, and you're going to have basically the muscle is going to be shorter when you're at max contraction, right? So when you're at full elbow flexion, the elbows are in front, muscle shorter. Whereas if you're in extension, so elbows are behind your body, you're going to basically have the muscles going to be in more of a stretch position. So this alters two slight movements, obviously slight differences where in the movement the peak torque occurs. So when you're putting together these variations, the big thing to think about is what's going on at the shoulder, and the easy thing to do is where is my elbow lining up? My elbow's in front of my body, and something you would see like where we're going to go through, I'm going to show you a spider curl. My elbow's in front, so you have greater amounts of shoulder flexion. So when you're at the peak flexion of the elbow, the muscles are going to be in the shortest realm. You have elbows at your sides, and then you do the curls. So basically starting like a neutral length for the muscle, or are you starting off in extension with the elbows behind you and like an incline dumbbell curl, which we're going to go through all these. But the big thing to think of is when you're picking these variations, if you want to do different variations, you really want to make sure where is the elbow. So you don't want to do, if you're trying to get a wide spread of targeting, you don't want to have your elbows in front of you for every bicep exercise. So for example, spider curls and preacher curls, elbows are in front, it's going to be similar. They're not exactly the same, but they're going to be too similar. So you want to pick something maybe like an incline dumbbell curl and then maybe a spider curl. Or you combine a spider curl with a normal standing curl, elbows at the sides, and then an incline dumbbell curl. So just keep these in mind however you do it. The big thing to think about is elbow in front of the body, elbow by the side of the body, or elbow behind the body. So let's go through and walk through what each of those look like. All right, so here you go. The first, just a normal curl, you have your arm parallel to your torso, right? So from the shoulder to the elbow, it's facing straight up and down, and I'm standing straight up and down, right? My torso's in a straight line. There's no angle there. The elbow is right next to your sides. And so during a normal curl, you have some maybe slight forward or backward movement of the elbow, but it is extremely minimal. And by forward or backward, I mean flexion or extension at the shoulder when you have that elbow movement forward and back. Now, when you move to something like the incline dumbbell curl, now the humerus is behind the torso, right? They're no longer parallel, and that extension at the shoulder is putting the bicep in a stretch position at the bottom, right? So it's going to alter where that peak torque happens at, and basically train the muscle just slightly differently because it's in a slightly different position. Now in the last one, set of spider curls, this is obviously now you have the arm in front of the torso, right? Shoulder flexion. And now something that's similar to this, right? Preacher curl does this, as does if you've ever used the arm blaster machine, that is going to put your shoulder into slight flexion, pushes the elbows out in front of the body. And you're getting at the top of the movement, basically the muscle is going to be the shortest it can be. Obviously, the greater elbow or shoulder flexion. So the further those elbows are out in front, the shorter the muscle is going to be. So when you hear people talking about hitting biceps from different directions, this is really what you're talking about, is working the muscle through some slightly different ranges of motion based on the shoulder joint. I hope this is helpful. Talk to you guys soon.